Good morning, everyone, and this is Uncle Lila Plans. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, and if you're new here, I hope you enjoy. I've not been here for a minute, so I apologize for my absence, which I will get into in my video. But without further ado, let's get started. So in all of my typical Plan With Me's, I like to go over any supplies I'll be using, as well as where I've gotten particular bits of supplies from. So we're going to be doing the May monthly. And we have the Sterling Ink May kit. It has this really pretty floral academic-y vibe. Like it's got the script in it, and it's got these like buildings and stuff, which I'll just show you bits and pieces. And I like the silver foil. Like, see, on this one, they have like the script. I love this one. I think it's really pretty. And here's more of the script, which we're going to be using these in the monthly, as well as for the entire month's worth of weeks, because I do like to get the most out of my planner and my items. Like, just look how pretty this is. Is that not just really pretty? It gives like old apothecary academic type of vibes. And then these two sheets are the same, but I can't get them to separate. There we go. Okay, so these are the stickers we're going to be using for the month. And then the tools we're going to be using are my handy dandy tweezers. I can't find the cap to them, and they're very sharp, but that's what makes them good for laying down stickers. The Tombow Mono Air 5 correction tape. My handy dandy collapsible scissors. This month we're going to be using just one ink with the Energel Clenna in the 0.4. And then we're going to be using two mild liners because I like the way the color combination sticks. The colors go together for the May monthly kit. So we have these two mild liners. And the planner we're going to be using is the Sterling Ink N2 Compact Horizontal Weeks. So it's very similar to the layout of the Hobonichi Weeks. The cover is from Moterm. The little bear magnet is from Color Cafe. These three journaling cards are from the Rosy Life Planner, as well as this Planner Lovely magnet. These two cards are from, oh goodness, where are they from? Planner Press. This is also from Color Cafe. This sticker is from Planning with Kay. And then this back here is also from the Rosy Life Planner. So we're going to move that to the side. We're going to open this up and go to the, no, that's the weeks. We need the months. Okay. And then also, usually I have my little bear clip, but we're going to be using this clip from the Coffee Monster Co. And you got a little butt. That just makes me so happy. Okay. So if you're new here, typically what I do is I plan out first and then I decorate, because I'm a much more functional planner than I am a decorative planner. I like the decorative elements in things. I just want to make sure that I have space for all the stuff I have to do instead of the stuff that I want to do and then there's no space left because I decorated so much. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see what we're doing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in with the darker color, and we're going to highlight all the days that I have bills due. I did something, I didn't plan it all last month because I didn't have the sticker kit, which is a ridiculous reason not to plan, but there's also a bigger reason as to why I did not plan. And then this is what March looked like. I like that I did the little kind of like header for the month mixing in with the ink. So I think that's what we'll do again. And I might change my mind and find a colored ink at least to go with the aesthetic of the month, but we'll see. Okay. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And then we're going to go back over these with, goodness me. We're going to go back over these with the darker color. Okay, so like there. And then we have, no, yes. And you're gonna hear Briar in the background. Okay, so those are our bills. I don't have any birthdays in the month of May. I don't have any important events. So it's just going to be focused on bills this month. Most of my birthdays happen at the beginning in the first quarter. So usually after, well, the first 3 months of the year, and then April has my eldest niece's birthday. So once we get past that, then we are pretty much good on birthdays until the fall. Okay, so let me see here. Do I want to do, I feel like just using black is just going to be kind of black. You know what I mean? Maybe I can find a peachy color to go with the purple. 1 second. Couldn't find anything peachy, so we're just going to use a black ink and then fill in. And then what I do, because I'm left-handed and I don't want anything to smear, I go from left to right and then I go up, down. So we start on the Sunday and then we go like that. So we have our Wi-Fi bill due. That's 120. Yeah, I don't like it with the black ink. Ugh. Oh well. We have some things that work and some things that don't. Disney Plus is due. Rent is due. And my rent, thankfully, has all of my utilities included in it. So I pay, my rent is including my rent, my pet fee, and all my utilities. So I'm really, really grateful for that. There's a lot of issues with my apartment, but it's totally worth it given the fact that I only pay the one, and it's a good budgeted amount. And if you hear planes, I have the windows open because it's such a beautiful day outside and I want to let some fresh air in the house. So you're going to hear some outside noises, and you'll probably hear Briar barking because she hears things outside as well. So we're just going to let her go off. Okay, and then what else? Kindle Unlimited is due. Day 2. Kindle, that's 14. And then that is, oh whoops, I forgot the day. I forgot my Netflix. Okay. So, where have I been and what's been happening? So as many of you know, last month I started a new position. I had started with the largest hospital conglomerate in my area, and it was absolutely atrocious. It was the most toxic place I've ever worked in my entire life. And 1 second, guys. Okay. Briar needed attention. So anywho, so it was the most toxic place I've ever worked in my entire life. I was bullied every single day. They bullied me about my weight. I was eating a Twix bar one day, and one of the workers there had come up to me and said, hey, you might like this Atkins bar instead because it's a better alternative for snacks. And I was like, cool. I'm not looking for an alternative for a snack, but I appreciate it. Oh, well, it's a really good healthy swap to help you lose weight. Cool. I'm not trying to do that right now. Okay, so I've given Briar something to play with, so she will be able to play with that. Okay, so anyway, so they kept making comments about the types of snacks that I had. I had forgotten my coffee one day, and I had a very large Twix bar in lieu of the fact that I didn't have any coffee because I needed something to keep me awake. And the same coworker comes by. Wow, Delilah, that's a really big Twix bar. I'm aware it is. It's almost like I picked it specifically for the size so I could be awake today. Shocker how that works. So let me make sure I have everything. Okay, yes. Okay, Netflix is what we're missing. All right. So I was having really bad cramps one day, and I have cysts. So for the taking medication and stuff like that isn't necessarily going to be helpful, at least not to me. If that works for you, I love that for you. That's amazing. But sometimes medicine just doesn't work. So I was having a really bad pain day, and my boss asked me what was wrong, and I told her, and she goes, you know what helps with those? Exercise. And I was like, you know what else helps? Not having cyst. Didn't ask for that. Didn't need that little input there. And if if that's what you're wanting to do with your life, I love that for you. That's just not something I'm focused on right now because I have like other needs that I need to be focused on before I can be focusing on things like weight loss. So eventually that is one of my goals, but as of right now, it's not a priority. And if that's a priority for you, I wish you all the best of luck, and I hope you're having an amazing time with it. It's going well, and you're getting the results that I'm sure you're working your butt off for. That's just not something at the time that I particularly was looking to do. So, the particular position that I worked, my job was to basically go and get money for accounts that had aged. So there was only a certain time limit that we could collect money on certain things. And if it was outside of that time limit, we were basically out of luck. So my job was to go through and figure out what was going on with the account. And I was told per my boss to work the accounts like they hadn't been touched because she was either 100% sure. Oh, well, it's just going to be there and we're just going to cut the extra off. To work the account like it had never been touched because she was either 100% sure or 90% sure the work was not done, at least not done to her satisfaction. So she had asked me in my 30-day review how I thought I was doing at the job and how I thought my work was going. And I said, well, you know, we're getting payments for things. We're getting appeals sent out. We're getting, I always cut that wonky. I can never not cut it wonky, and I don't know why. We're getting appeals sent out for things. We're getting payments for things. I think I'm doing a very good job. And she looks me dead in the face and she goes, do you think you're doing a good job, or do you think you're piggybacking off the work of others? And I said, well, I'm the one putting in the time and effort, so I think I'm doing a really good job. And then she goes, well, we'll agree to disagree. And I could not get a compliment for anything and not be immediately torn down. One of my first instances of this was that I was working with an adjuster on, oh, that's not going to crud. That's not going to work there. Ah, don't stick. No! I tore the page. Oh no, even worse, I tore the sticker. Crap. So I'd been talking with an adjuster and she was really, really sweet, and I was able to build rapport really, really quickly. So it was due to this rapport building that the adjuster, she basically told me that we were not able to typically they did not offer payments because it was so past the date of being able to get a payment. However, she talked with her supervisor and see what she could do for us. Well, my boss wasn't happy with the way the call was going because she wasn't going to accept no for an answer. So she took over the phone call, and the adjuster complimented me on my ability to, on my customer service, that I was really sweet and I was really kind. And basically it was my rapport and my customer service that was able to get us the reconsideration of the payment and move forward with the account getting paid. I was like, cool, that's awesome. That's amazing. Love that. And she goes, well, you want to make sure you're watching. Dang nabbit, that's also too big. Crud. Where's my reusable sticker book? Okay, I'm going to put these in my reusable sticker book so I don't end up ruining them because I still want to use them. I keep picking stickers that are too big. And so she told me that the lady had given me a compliment, that I was really sweet, really kind, and all these things. And we basically got the reconsideration, which was the whole point of me making the phone call. So I was like, yeah, awesome. That's great. She literally looks at me and then she goes, well, just so you know, you shouldn't be using awesome and cool on a phone call. It's very unprofessional. And then proceeds to tear me down for the rest of the day because I couldn't get a compliment. Another time a coworker had complimented me on the fact I got a payment for one of our accounts for over $600 that we'd been trying to get paid on. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Love that. And then my manager immediately goes, oh, well, make sure that you're doing your process and you're doing this. And she just bullied me and tore me down the entire day, nitpicked at everything I was doing wrong. I wasn't trained properly on my position because, quote, what typically the position that I did was only taught after someone had learned the beginning of the process and the beginning of how things worked. So typically, someone had already known how to work the system. So I was trained like I knew the system, but I didn't know the system because I'd never worked in this particular system before, and they knew this. So I'm getting trained like I am supposed to know the system when I don't. And I'm working these accounts like I'm supposed to know the system, but I don't. And when I would act like I didn't know the system, I was treated like I was stupid, which in and of itself infuriates me. But just the fact that their excuse was, well, typically when someone is doing this, they already know the system. Cool, I don't know the system. I'm brand new. You're going to have to teach me. And several people had witnessed this. Several people had watched the treatment that I received, and I found out later that they had reported it. But it was just that everybody basically knew what was going on, and nobody said anything until I said something, and I didn't come in one day. And then they realized, they put 2 and 2 together. There was another instance where I wasn't told to scan documents into our system when I had received them, like mail documents, like physical paper mail. So I didn't do that because I wasn't told to do that. I wouldn't know to do that. That's not something that would just automatically occur in my mind. So I was berated for not knowing that that needed to be done. And then I was taught how to do it, and then I proceeded to do it thereafter. Well, I wasn't taught that scans and faxes need to go into the system as well. So I didn't do that. So when my manager asked me, why are you not doing that? Well, you didn't tell me I had to do that. I didn't know. Then again, proceeds to look at me like I'm stupid, talk to me like I'm stupid. Where did my other little florals go? Could have sworn I had more little florals. And then proceeds to just continue to berate me and treat me like I'm dumb and just talk to me crazy. We're going to use this stump because I really, really like it. And that basically I should have known, even though I'm a literal thinker, I should have known that the scans and faxes also needed to be put into the system on the patient account. Cool, I know that for next time. I didn't know before. I'm not missing something. I don't know where my wee bits went. Oh well. So yeah, so overall the treatment was just abhorrent. I was bullied every single day. It was basically like high school all over again with grown adults. My weight was mentioned, the fact that I would constantly go to the restroom because unfortunately I have lost my mother to kidney disease, so I take care of my kidneys and my bladder. I drink tons of water, and a result of that, you need to go to the bathroom. So I would go, and they would make comments about how frequently I went to the bathroom. And they, oh, well, I don't go to the bathroom that often. I wait till I get home, and then when I get home, I go like 50 times a day. Okay, cool. That's terrible for you, and you're basically killing your kidneys for no reason, but okay. Not a flex, but all right. And then they would ask the other girl that was new like me, and well, how often do you go? Well, I try not to go too often. Crap, I ripped it. I try not to go too often, but, I go when I have to. Well, I don't go that often either. Delilah, how often do you go to the bathroom? Well, considering you can see me get up and leave when I go, and you always make these comments as soon as I come back, I tend to go pretty frequently because I don't want to experience, or at least help along the same fate as my mother. Dead silence. Nothing said to this. And the anxiety would get so bad that it would kill my stomach. I would have horrible headaches, and I basically wouldn't be able to function properly. So let's see if we can add something else, because I'm going to add a little bit more down here. I'd come back from throwing up one time, and my manager was like, oh, I thought you went on a second break. No, I was just feeling really sick, and I went to go throw up. Oh, well, you just come back from break, so I thought you went to go take a second break. I just told you I got sick, and your reasoning is that you thought I was on a second break. Okay, cool. Are these individual? Yes. Okay, these are individual stickers. So it was just treatment like that, and the excessiveness of the bullying and just the excessiveness of the treatment that I basically said I had enough. I quit. I'm currently looking for another position because I just couldn't handle the way I was being treated there anymore. So, and it was affecting my mental health extremely severely. I would come home just absolutely exhausted, not have the energy to want to do anything other than basically lay down and doom scroll. So let's get this cut off. So it was a lot. and it was excessive, and I haven't even been checking to see if I was in frame this whole time. Oh my gosh. And I did meet some wonderful, amazing, beautiful people there that are going to be lifelong friends of mine, and I'm really grateful for having met them. So maybe that's why, you know, I was supposed to be there, was to meet these friends. But all in all, it was just a terrible experience, and I'm not the only one that's had this experience, but it was just awful. Okay, so let's zoom you out so you can see. Okay, so I really, really like this. It's not my most favorite. I think March will always be my favorite until I find something that I can do very similarly, but I really, really like this. And let's see, we're at 20 minutes. Okay, so we will come back and we will film the weekly setup because that will take a little bit longer as well. But that's basically where I was. My job was incredibly toxic. I couldn't handle the toxicity anymore, and due to the toxicity that I experienced every single day, it made it difficult for me wanting to do or have the energy to do anything else when I came home from work. So I've left that environment. The day I woke up after I turned in my resignation, I felt a million times better. I thankfully still have my part-time job that I'm picking up hours at, that I am working with, so I can make sure that I'm getting some semblance of a paycheck, that I'm getting some semblance of money coming in, so I'm not, you know, completely screwed. But I've been applying for places, and I've been looking into things and seeing what I can find, and hopefully I find something that's better with a better environment. But yeah, that's where I was, and you should not compromise your mental health on anything. If it comes between you and your mental health, you need to pick your mental health every single time. So anyway, I'm glad to be back. I'm going to be posting some videos today. I've missed you guys so much. I hope you guys have been okay. If you've been going through stuff, let's talk about it in the comments. You can message me personally on Instagram if you want to talk about it there. Just know that I'm here for you. I support you, and I'm super happy to be back, and I've missed you guys. So we'll be getting to a more consistent, regular filming schedule like we were prior, and we will go from there. So I'm so grateful that you guys decided to stick around, decided to watch this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I have to go play with Briar so she doesn't get upset. And I just hope you guys remember that you're amazing and wonderful, and I love you so, so much, and I'm so very proud of you. And you guys have a great day. Bye!